Welcome to ACC Softball, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. It is a beautiful, albeit blustery day here in Clemson, South Carolina, as we get you set for the middle game of this three-game ACC weekend series. Number 10 Florida State, one of the hottest teams in the country, taking on Clemson in an ACC Tournament Championship game rematch. So glad to be with you. She is two-time national champion Erin Miller. I'm Alex Perlman. 19 straight wins here for Florida State. They won yesterday 4-1 in pretty convincing fashion. It was a great ball game, well played in all facets. It is all about the Seminoles, and they come in looking for the series win.
Yeah, undefeated through ACC play, Alex. There's so much about this team that you can love. Yesterday, in game one of this series, pitching stuck out to me. Great in the circle, 3 stellar arms for the Seminoles, but how can you not talk about their offense? Led by the top of this order, it's Issa Torres, batting over .636 at the plate. That number is just wild. The numbers there tell the story. She is the spark plug for this team. And how do you pitch against this bat? I don't know that there's an answer.
And, well, they did kind of figure it out. 1 for 4 in yesterday's game. You could say it was kind of a down performance. Florida State still won by 3 runs. On the other side for Clemson, Julia Nolar's starting to figure it out. A surprisingly uncharacteristic slow start, hitting .448 last 10 with 9 RBIs.
And talking to head coach Rittman, he wanted and challenged this team top to bottom in the order to be more consistent. I'm looking to Julia Nolar. This is a leader for them to turn that around, to be a spark plug at the plate. They're going to have a chance here in game 2, a big game for this Clemson team.
It really is, as they look to even up this series at a game apiece. They're going to have to deal with this Florida State lineup, though, that in this winning streak of 19 games is hitting .408 as a team. A little bit of a switch up, not at the top of the order, but they move Shelby McKenzie up to the 3-hole to start this second game of this series. And the first pitch delivered by Abby Dunning, the veteran out of Boston College, transferring in to really bolster this pitching staff, gets the nod today for John Rittman.
You're going to see a lot of that screwball. She is arm side dominant, up to 70 miles an hour, but lives on the hands against those righties.
Issa Torres bounces over to first, touched up by Mac Pavesi. Terrific freshman year for her. And there is out number 1. And if you came into this series, Erin, and you said in the first 5 plate appearances, you would retire Issa Torres 4 of those times, you would absolutely sign up for that. Jason E. Beecham steps in, takes on the outside corner. Beecham was 1 for 4 with a run driven in yesterday's game. What a season that she has had. What a career, though. .378 on the season, has reached base in 22 straight games. One of the catalysts at the top of this order for Lonnie Alameda, the dean of the ACC. Nibbling around the zone, both sides of the plate here to Beecham to start out, and now she has drawn a 3-1 count against Dunning.
Just looking at the spray chart against Dunning, most of her batted balls against her on the pull side of the field for righties. So down that left field line, this one to the right side of the field.
This is Taylor Pipkins who gets the start at second today. Did not appear in yesterday's game, and she squeezes it for out, number 2. Clemson dealing with a completely revamped pitching staff, and really they were successful from the get-go. You've got Sierra Manis, who has really stepped in as the heart of this staff. She started yesterday's game, ended up giving up 4 runs on 9 hits. But the reigning ACC pitcher of the week, and coming over from South Carolina upstate, where actually she played on this field in the Clemson Regional last season. But she's translated that success to a higher level. Talk about Abby Dunning, who has had to come in as well and shouldered a lot of that burden. Lexi Hames and Kira Crosby kind of rounding things out as a couple of freshmen. We haven't seen many innings from Macy Cintron at all, who's a two-way player more last year. That one just missed the zone.
That's the first off-speed that we've seen out of the hand of Dunning. It'll be interesting to watch that pitch develop as this game rolls on. 49 miles an hour.
2-1, a cut and a miss, and now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You mentioned it, just the change in the staff approach here for Clemson. A lot of new arms, a couple freshmen that walk in. You mentioned Cintron, the sophomore that has been spotty in the circle.
2-2, got her upstairs, went into the attic, and McKenzie comes up begging the reigning ACC pitch of the week. Good start for Abby Dunning. 1-2-3 Golden Olds. Clemson coming up for the first time. One change from last night in John Rittman's order. Marion Collins shifts over to the hot corner. Sarah Bro is getting the day off to start, and Taylor Pipkins settles in at second base, and she will be batting ninth for Clemson. Looking to move to 7-4 in the ACC, and they'll face Ashton Danley, who Aaron was in the circle to end last night's game, picking up her first save of the year.
A junior arm coming from the left side. Had an interesting kind of transition throughout her career. Came in as a multi-tool athlete, played defense, pitched, hit for herself. First couple years here at Florida State, she was not hitting. Coach Alameda had her focus just on her role in the circle, and as of this season has finally transitioned into hitting for herself. So you're going to see her swing the bat here today.
She'll lead off the top half of the second inning in the cleanup spot. Ultra athletic. Off speed, swung through by Jamison Brockenbrough to start it off for the Tigers.
To see both of these arms establishing the off-speed pitch early. You plant that seed of doubt in the first inning, you watch it, you water it, you see how it blooms for the next 6.
Hoping they get quite a harvest by the end of the game. 2-1, that wasn't close. Brockenbrough was nothing for 2 with a walk in last night's loss. Game 1 of the series. Rematch of one of the more exciting ACC tournament championship games of recent memory, where Clemson pulled the upset. And who could forget that one? I mean, it was so special. The program's first ACC tournament title coming from behind every game in the 5th inning or later. And we will not forget Kylie Johnson's 2-run blast in the top of the 7th anytime soon here in South Carolina. And there's Jamison Brockenbrough, the leadoff walk to get Clemson going. And already a quick meeting of the entire infield inside the circle for Florida State. The one thing you know you can rely on for the Seminoles this year is defense. They're fielding 986. So pitchers know you put the ball in play, there's a great chance it's going to be made, and you're going to be back in the dugout hitting at some point soon.
I loved hearing Coach Alameda talk about why the fielding percentage is what it is, why this defense is so strong. That one up and in. Was unsure if that hit her mask or her barrel. Looks like they are going to call a hit by pitch.
Kylie Chanel.
Wow, right on the mask.
Did get hit, and Jose Chaparro, our home plate umpire, was all over it. A very shaky start here for Ashton Danley, who did not allow any hits in 1 1/3 yesterday to earn that save. And now the umpires are going to get together and talk it over. You know, if we could see it again, because I thought for a moment it was tough to tell, but that may have hit the bat. The bat was right next to the mask.
I think the conversation here with Coach Alameda is if she leaned into the strike zone, you see that she's leaning in over the plate to try and get this bunt down.
It definitely did hit her mask.
But it did hit her mask.
Yeah.
There was no contact on the bat. So I think that potentially is the discussion, which they are going to hold the call as a hit by pitch. I want to circle back, though, to the defense of Florida State. You mentioned just how they show in numbers, but this is a consistent strength point for Florida State, and Coach Alameda talked about the reason for that is the versatility that they have on defense.
Mac Pavesi going to show bunt, pick it up in foul ground for Hine.
So many different athletes on this team that can play multiple positions. So all fall, it's a battle to win a starting spot, which forces the elevation of competition. That is why this defense is so good, is every single young woman standing in a position on this dirt had to earn it.
It's the best fielding percentage in the ACC by 10 percentage points. Chopper over to short. This could be 2, second 1, first, not in time. Good turn by Torres and Heller, but the speed of Pavesi preventing that double play.
It's a nice roll-up from Torres at shortstop off the end of the bat of Pavesi. Thought they had this, but they did not. A good leg down to first base. Prevents the double play.
Runners on the corners with the cleanup hitter, Marion Collins, coming to the plate. She has been the most consistent offensive player, according to John Rittman this year. Member of the ACC All-Freshman team last season, but continuing that good work into this year. And 8 runs driven in the last 10 games for Collins, playing third today. All the way to 50 miles an hour down, so that is a big difference when you talk about Danley's hard stuff with her off speed. Got her out in front. The only play that Bueno has is just to tag out Collins, and Clemson takes a 1-0 lead on the RBI ground out.
That is really sharp heads-up hitting. Not a super sexy piece of contact there at home plate, but it's enough from Collins to get the job done. She knows in that situation as a lefty, she's got to hit behind this runner at third base. It's got to be full side of the field, and that rollover ground ball gets the job done.
So Brockenbrough has the Tigers out in front as they take their first lead of this series. This is dangerous always when Macy Cintron comes up to the plate, last year's ACC Freshman of the Year. Just kind of like Julia Noller got off to a pretty slow start this season. Was hitting .224 with 6 RBIs through 23 games. At that point, a year ago, she had 19. But since then has raised her average over 70 points. Driven in 5 in the last 11 games. And she's hitting .474 in the last 10, so clearly figured something out. We knew she would. Just really someone who is too talented not to. Ranked the #1 player in the country coming into college.
You can see Danley still trying to place that curveball on the inner half to righties. We've seen her miss high, we've seen her miss inside. She just hasn't found that groove yet to cut through the backside of that strike zone.
3-1 bouncer. This is to Torres, who handles and fires, and that's in time to retire Clemson, but not before the Tigers take a 1-0 lead. We have played one full, and that's our score.
ACC Softball is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Nice little Saturday here at Clemson. Why not make a day of it? You've got not only softball, the football spring game, baseball's playing later on campus, and then, oh yeah, why not throw the cherry on top with women's lacrosse, one of the best teams in the country with that new program. Just right across the street at Memorial Stadium, they are getting set to begin their spring game for Dabo Swinney and the Tigers. You're driving in, you can feel the palpable energy here on campus. That's kind of the fun of spring, is that the weather's getting nicer. You got all these outdoor sports that are going on.
It is sports day today in Clemson. That is for sure.
1-2-3 went the Seminoles in the first. Ashton Danley, the starting pitcher, hitting for herself. 1-1 on her. Lonnie Alameda, the head coach of the Noles, said that they are not holding her back at all at this point in the season. She's hitting, running, pitching for herself. They did towards the beginning of the year, but in the fall, she told Danley that if you're going to do this, that means you're in the weight room, in the nutrition center. You're not taking any time off at practice. You are going to learn how to do all of this before the season begins. And also know, most importantly maybe, Aaron, is that when you need recovery time, how you get it.
Yeah, I think the challenge of her adding back the hitting to her game here on the collegiate landscape was that it forced her to manage her time differently. You know, the first 2 years of your career, you're focusing on one area of your game. You dedicate 100% of your reps to that one area. When you open that up to a bigger slice of the pie, juggling those reps doesn't mean you pull back in certain areas. It means you've got to up the ante in a new one. Coach said it made her more confident, forced her to work harder in all areas, but not enough to get it done. Dunning sits her down.
Coming up 5 Eastern, our next softball matchup. It's right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. 19th ranked Duke hosting 22nd ranked Stanford in Durham. on the ESPN app as well. Duke won 6-4 last night in one of the marquee ACC series this weekend. How about the night for Jessica Oakland, right? 3-run homer in the first to set up the offense, then she ignites a 2-run fourth. Duke scored 3 unanswered to end the game. And I'm not sure the ACC has really ever been stronger. 5 teams are in the latest top 25 poll. Smattered all over the top 50 of the RPI now. And a lot of teams with their eyes at Clemson, certainly Florida State, one of them, to getting all the way to Oklahoma City to the Women's College World Series. Clemson came so close, but Austin is a very tough place to win, and they had the opportunity right towards the end last year. Just ran into the eventual national champions. But they had a tying run on base and in scoring position in game 3. Just missed on Kennedy Harp, 2-2.
That's the bread and butter of Dunning. Again, the arm side dominance, that screwball up and in under the hands of righties. She's trying to establish that spot. Off speed just a little bit faster than the first strike back in the first inning with that changeup. We saw it at 49 miles an hour, that one coming in at 54.
Harp getting a start once again in center field. Moved up into the 5-hole today. And she'll muscle that the opposite way, and that's right for Cintron. What a start in the circle here for Abby Dunning. 5 up and 5 down against one of the best offenses in the country. And this is kind of what Clemson needs. You know, Sierra Manis goes out, throws well, does give up 4 runs, all earned on 9 hits in a complete game yesterday. But when you're talking about winning an ACC series against a team like Florida State, you need someone to be a stopper out there in the circle. And Dunning brings that ACC experience, you know, coming from Boston College. She has faced Florida State before, knows exactly what it entails.
Saw a full staff effort yesterday in the circle for Florida State, a really elite outing for those 3 arms, Francic, Reed, and Danley. We only saw 1 from Clemson, which I think is something they're working through right now. Rittman really honest with us about their struggle in the circle, and he admitted if they're gonna have some success this weekend against Florida State, they have to bring it in the circle. They're fighting to find that 3rd arm. Who's gonna be that 3rd consistent arm for them in the circle? Behind Manis, behind Dunning. They thought maybe Olivia Duncan, the junior. She's been battling through some injury.
Two freshman arms, Lexi Hames, Kira Crosby come in. Highly touted, great stuff. I mean, Hames is the 2-time Pennsylvania Gatorade Player of the Year. There's the first base runner for Florida State as Ruggiero works the walk. This is the part of the Noles lineup that there is not a weak part, but there's an inexperienced part. The bottom 4 of the lineup just today are all freshmen. But, albeit very talented freshmen. And that continues here with Anna Hind as she fouls it back to the screen.
If you were to hide the class hierarchy of the starting order for Florida State, you would never guess that these numbers come out of a lot of young athletes in this starting 9.
Because you've got Hind who's hitting almost 340.
Yeah. McKenzie in the 3-hole, just a sophomore.
Heller's on deck, she's hitting 370. The only one that hasn't really gotten their footing in college necessarily to the level of their ability would be Haley Griggs, who arguably comes in as the highly touted player, the highest touted player of this year's class. We will see her in the 9 hole. Right now she is in the hole with Heller on deck. Hind down to the count, 0-2. Through 0 leading off of first. You see Gatorade Players of the Year all over this roster for Florida State, which isn't much of a surprise. She's the North Carolina recipient last season. Hind ranked the #2 player in the country out of Charlotte Christian by extra inning softball. Some really good players come out of that private school in Charlotte. Also the alma mater of Steph and Seth Curry, and multiple Major League Baseball players.
Steph Curry, who is that? Who is that?
I think he plays basketball. 1-2, did she hold?
Wow.
She did. Aaron, what kind of strength does it take to do what Anna Hind just pulled off?
The entire lower body clutch in that lower body turn to keep the bat back in this swing. Here we're gonna get a great look at it. Bat, oh man, you could make an argument there. The lower body full turn, almost commits with the barrel.
And to do that while trying to hold your balance.
I call that an active take. That's what we called it back in my day, where the lower body is active. You're waiting to pull that trigger with the barrel through the zone, but the lower body's engaged.
2-2 on Hind. Count runs full. Dunning running into a little trouble after striking out Danley to start off the second. And then a line out to right of Kennedy Hart. That's going to bring the Oklahoma transfer catcher Corey Hicks out to talk with her battery mate.
I like this meeting. There's been a few pitches out of the hand of Dunning that are really competitive. I think the one that she just threw, 2-2 count, looked pretty good and didn't fall her way. She's been trying to establish that screwball up and under the hands of righties. That's the predominant side of the strike zone that she lives on. She just hasn't quite carved up the edges of this strike zone yet. And Hicks, I believe right there, just trying to keep her within herself.
3-2, 2 outs in the second. Got her swinging. Well, she certainly got the edge that time. Abby Dunning strikes out Anna Hind. And the threat's over here for the Noles.
Hey, sports fans, the ESPN app has all of ESPN all in one place. Visit activate.espn.com to see if you have ESPN Unlimited as part of your TV package for no additional cost. It's all of ESPN all in one place. Sign up or activate now.
It's a lopsided series here between Florida State and Clemson, though remember that the Tigers are only in their 7th season as a program. Florida State won the first 7, and then Clemson exacting their revenge last season in the ACC championship. Although, you know, John Rittman said, okay, maybe we could take some momentum out of it. First of all, of course, it's a different team. And second of all, you never really know what you're going to do in a single elimination format. And when you prepare for a series, like Lonnie Alameda said, it's very different. That's where the gamesmanship comes in. And how about after 1 inning, Ashton Danley removed going to left field, and Bella Dimitrievich gets the opportunity here against the Tigers.
This is one of those freshman phenoms we talked about. We mentioned the freshmen in the starting offensive order for Florida State, but 2 freshmen on this pitching staff, Bella Dimitrievich being one of those. 45 1/3 thrown so far. Two-time Illinois Gatorade Player of the Year, was a touted arm coming into this program.
There's Danley staying in the game. She plays left. Griggs moves to first. So that takes Bueno out of the defensive alignment.
We've already seen 2 locations from Bella in the circle. You saw the drop ball and the rise. The rise is her bread and butter. She's going to stay up in the zone predominantly, but added a drop ball to try and challenge that eye.
Hasn't found the strike zone here against Julia Noller. 6, 7, 8 coming up for the Tigers, leading 1-0. Bottom of the 2nd. And 4 straight outside the zone. And Noller still has not been retired yet in this series. Now a couple of walks, a sac fly, and a double.
Back-to-back innings, Clemson has walked the leadoff. Brockenbrough, who walked in the first, did come around to score. It's like a cardinal sin in our game. You give up, you give up a walk against that leadoff, bound to come around to hurt you.
John Rittman is going to send a pinch runner into the game here for Clemson. It's Kennedy Ariel, who usually does those duties, came in yesterday for the same purpose. Will provide some extra speed. You're not done with us here in this series, because we've got tomorrow too. Can't wait. 6 o'clock, rounding out everything here in the ACC. Corey Hicks now. Beautiful bunt down the third base line, and Beecham flips across to Heller covering.
If you're Clemson, you've got to take advantage of these free passes. They did back in the first inning. You get a gift like a walk to lead off the inning, figuring out a way to get this runner in scoring position. Top of mind, Corey Hicks, transfer from Oklahoma, laying down a beautiful sacrifice bunt to move their leadoff walk into scoring position. That's big-time execution right there at the plate.
Now it's up to Kylie Johnson, the hero of that ACC tournament championship game win, to deliver the first one in program history to Clemson last year. Looking for her first hit of the series, though, against the number 10 Seminoles, coming in 7-0 in the ACC. They are the last lone undefeated team. Duke is right behind them in the standings. They are 9-1 this year.
Yeah.
Marissa Young's done such a great job there.
I had a chance to call the Duke-South Carolina game a few weeks ago. You know, it's what's interesting with this success between Florida State and Duke is they run the bases very similarly, very aggressive, 60 feet to 60 feet, fearless almost.
Yeah, and as we see so often, Aaron, to excel at this kind of level, a Power 4 conference, to be near the top of the standings, you really need a full pitching staff. Yeah. And that is exactly what Duke has as well. They threw 3 arms against Stanford.
Isn't it weird to say Power 4? It's still weird to me.
I'm getting used to it. Honestly, you can't hold on to anything too long in today's day and age, the way everything is, because it's just bound to change.
Bound to change.
Got her on 3-2 swinging. First strikeout for Dmitrievich. It's a big one now, 2 away here in the second.
This is what she's known for. See the rise ball spin, tight revolution, up and under the hands. It's a great location with 2 strikes. Forces her to protect that side of the plate. A big cut from Johnson.
I'll bring up Taylor Pipkins. Her first plate appearance of this series. Starting at second base because they moved Collins over to third to the hot corner, and they took the struggling bat of Sarah Bro out of the lineup here for game 2 of this series. Pipkins making her 15th start of the year. 1-2. It's amazing. You can bring last year's ACC tournament MVP off the bench to start in game 2. 4 for 8, including a grand slam that beat Virginia in the quarterfinal. Remember, they came from behind in all those wins. This is over towards third. Room for Beecham. So the leadoff walk to Noller goes begging. Ariel coming into pinch run, stranded in scoring position. Still 1-0 Clemson after 2. We continue the tour of freshmen at the bottom of this Seminoles lineup. 8, 9, and 1 all due here for Florida State. Trailing 1-0 to Clemson on a beautiful Saturday, end of March afternoon. Alex Perlman, 2-time national champion Aaron Miller along with you today. And then for the series finale tomorrow, 6 Eastern right here on ACC Network. Marin Heller to get us back underway at the plate. Second baseman takes ball 1. Heller, the freshman from Iowa, whose first collegiate hit was a double, and she's done pretty much nothing but hit them so far the rest of the way. This is to third, and just in foul ground. There's the catch from Collins. And there is out number 1. We'll talk to the Florida State head coach Lonnie Alameda coming up at the beginning of next inning. 18th season for her in Tallahassee. And just an update to all of you, I'm sure you're wondering how coach is doing with that breast cancer battle. And she said she's doing immunotherapy right now, feels stronger every day. Hair's growing in. She's undecided, though, if she's going to go back to the signature braid.
The braid. Yeah, she completed chemo, now on the immunotherapy stage, and is feeling good. Just said, the team, the support system's been everything she needed and more. Just showing up to the field, practice, being around these young women has really gotten her through.
She's taken Florida State to 5 Women's College World Series at the helm. And Haley Griggs will just take on the inside corner for strike one. Last time in 2023, though, I know everybody with the program is getting a little antsy. You know, with the type of success that they have had recently, to not make it to Oklahoma City. It's been a couple of seasons. Maybe 2026 is the year that they get back. '18, winning it all. 2-2 on Griggs. Fought it off.
Dunning is still putting pressure on that inside corner for Florida State. While she struggled to get called strikes, she's forcing the Seminoles to make a decision in protecting that portion of the strike zone. You saw Griggs just foul that one off the shin.
Doing another 2-2. Count runs full.
I love that approach. She gets her to back off the plate just a hair, and then boom, tries to hammer that low outer corner to stretch the strike zone.
So where does Dunning come back here on the payoff?
$1 million question.
That's why we pay you the big bucks. Tried to go inside, but missed.
I mean, she has been chomping at the bits to get that strike call all game. Granted, that one a little high, I agree with that call, but there's been a few, especially with 2 strikes, where Dunning, it just has not fallen her way.
So one time through the order for Florida State, they don't have a hit, but they do have 2 base runners, a couple of walks delivered by Dunning. This is where it gets difficult, though. Starting with Issa Torres, who's now 1 for 5 this series. She'll slap it foul down the right, left field side, that is. And Johnson runs out of room.
Torres has such a quick hand to barrel to contact speed. I mean, the ability to get the barrel, whipping it through the zone as fast as she can, because she's got that bat speed and hand speed, she buys herself more time to make decisions on balls and strikes.
629, still the leading hitter in college softball, in case you're wondering. And she attempted at it, and now down to the count 0-2. Broke the NCAA record earlier this season, not too long ago actually, 16 straight hits. That's like a full week of getting a hit every time you're up. It's unthinkable. 0-2, she went! Fourth strikeout for Dunning. Yeah,
Jinx, you owe me a soda. 4th strikeout for Dunning. This is a big one. I mean, they have had Torres's number through these first 2 games. It's not like Torres isn't applying some pressure, but to your point, what she's done consistently over this year, to have her now 1 for 6 through 2 games, those are pretty good odds.
Why has Clemson been so successful, do you think?
To me, I think they're stretching the strike zone in the right places against her. They're forcing her to see strikes early and then protect just inches off the plate late in the count.
Runner on the move, Hicks throw in plenty of time. Chanel applies the tag, and Hicks says none shall pass. Clemson still leading at 1-0. They're coming up when we come back. Bottom three in Clemson, joined by Florida State head coach Lonnie Alameda. Lonnie, we saw Francic, Reed, Danley yesterday. Today we start with Danley for one. We bring in Dimitrievich last inning. Tell me about how you've been managing the staff this year, because it's deep and you got a lot of options.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get comfortable in a lot of situations. 21 outs to get, good swinging team, home crowd. So strategy, just trying to figure out some strategy, and really like what Bella's been doing for us. So as a freshman, just been growing every time out. It's been awesome.
Coach, I think your offense right now trying to figure out their approach against Dunning. What are you seeing down on the field? What adjustments do you need them to make?
I mean, she's obviously got a good little screwball rise ball in there. She's a competitor. She's throwing gas right now. So, like, just making adjustments, trying to get the barrel out. And, you know, each hitter's a little bit different in their approach. And so, yeah, just keep competing. And hopefully we'll get a bloop and a blast and keep rolling.
Lonnie, we always appreciate the time. Thanks so much as always.
Coach.
Bye.
Well, that would certainly suit the Florida State fans. That's all they need.
A bloop and a blast.
At this
I like
point,
it.
yeah. But Dimitrievich has been tough in the circle, keeping the Seminoles in the game. Danley did allow that one run. Leadoff walk to Brockenbrough came around to score, and she will start off the third. Brockenbrough, Chanel, Pavese, anybody reaches the cleanup hitter, Collins. We've had 6 base runners so far today between the two teams. We are still looking for our first base hit, however. Two walks for Florida State, a walk to Clemson, hit by pitch, fielder's choice. That's how they ended up scoring their run back in the first. And just another walk last inning to Noller that led things off, but she was stranded.
Already a 3-0 count. Mentioned the leadoff walk in the first, leadoff walk in the second.
And Brockenbrough is going to get her second leadoff walk in as many plate appearances this afternoon.
You know, I agree with Coach Alamina's approach there about managing this staff of, hey, we've got a lot of different situations we've got to prime these arms for. A freshman in the circle here, who I think is getting challenged of owning that first batter, owning the top of the inning. We talked with her extensively about the freshman class. This is a young team.
Chanel swings at the first pitch, though, for Torres. Battles the sun to make the play on the line.
She said it's interesting coaching young talent. They play very free. Obviously, they come in here guns a-blazing. She mentioned they blew the socks off of the upperclassmen during their fitness testing coming back from summer break. But what they don't know is what they don't know. How does it feel to play through ACC?
Over to short, Torres second. First, not in time.
How does it feel to play through a regional, a super regional? How does it play to feel in late inning games in an ACC tournament? These are all things that they're learning for the first time. And as she mentioned, putting them in situations that force them to get that experience is a big deal.
Talk to John Rittman when we come back in the top of the fourth inning. So that leadoff walk to Brockenbrough erased on that fielder's choice. Kylie Chanel surprisingly swinging at the first pitch after seeing 4 outside the zone to start things off to Brockenbrough. So it's going to be up to Marion Collins. She had the RBI ground out back in the first that has delivered our ball game's only run.
Kind of that game within the game that you mentioned. You watch someone see 4 straight balls in front of you. Do you play your odds? Do you watch a strike?
What would Patty Gasso have to say about that?
I would have had the red light there, likely. I would have been taking until I saw something across the strike zone, but to each their own.
Yep.
Potentially a green light there for Chanel.
One and two now on Collins. Goes back upstairs. Dmitrievich more going to do it based on spin and movement than speed. Fought off a 1-2. Beecham can't make the play. Came back on her. All the way over to the dugout railing and actually didn't even need to go that far.
We got a high sky with wind cutting across to the right side of the field. There's not a single cloud in the sky right now. And I was an outfielder. I can tell you sometimes not having clouds messes with your depth perception. That's what we call a high sky. That one getting away from Beecham.
See if Clemson can take advantage. And you saw the flags whipping back towards right center. So it is blowing the ball in that direction as well that Beecham had to deal with.
Collins, a power hitter, 5 home runs on the year. This is one of those bats that just quietly does her thing, some sneaky pop, sneaky power.
And that got her. Did it get the handle of the bat, though? Must have gotten the knob.
Yeah, you didn't even see Collins make an effort to go to first base. That one does get right on the end of the knob of the bat. You would have seen me with full dramatic.
You would have been on the ground.
Turned into a performer. Yeah, that would have been a performance from me.
2-2. We'll do a payoff. There definitely would have been a handshake.
Yeah,
for sure.
Minimum. I would have been already halfway down to first base.
You want me back in the batter's box? You gotta grab me. Good battle here between Collins and Dmitrievich.
True multi-tool athlete from Collins. We've seen her play all over the dirt too for Clemson. Played shortstop last year, moved over to second, has been so great on the infield for the Tigers.
10th pitch of the at-bat is not enough. Clemson hoping this is the characteristic battle that turns around this series. Well, this is exactly who John Rittman would want at the plate in this situation. Someone who has been ultra dependable, so consistent. You can hit her all over the middle of this lineup. Second leading hitter, 371 on the season coming in. Good situationally as well. Yet another payoff pitch. Jammed her over to Torres, and she has no problem handling that one. So the third comes to an end. We'll talk to John Rittman when we come back. Clemson hanging on to that 1-0 lead as we go to the top of the fourth, joined by the head coach, John Rittman. John, we saw Ashton Danley from Florida State in the circle to start things off. Then they bring in Dimitrievich in the second. What have you seen from her, and what kind of changes would you like your offense to do to push across this first hit?
Yeah, you know, we manufactured a run in the first inning, and they made the pitching change, so we're pretty used to them making changes. Obviously, yesterday they did it, and they utilized their whole staff throughout a game. So we just got to make adjustments at the plate and getting our swings off. You know, I think we're just, you know, almost really protective swings, especially in hitters' counts, and we got to make sure we get our swings off here against her. She's good. She keeps you off balance, but we got to make sure we're getting pitchers or hitters' pitches to hit and putting good swings on them.
Coach, Dunning has been stunning so far in the circle. Just describe her pitch sequences and why she's had so much success here through 3 innings.
Well, she's mixing it up a little bit. She's going in, out, up, and then a few change-ups. So she's got to keep them off balance, and we got to play good defense behind her. She's doing really well right now. Don't want to jinx her, but got a lot of ball game left. So, but she's doing well. I like the way she's kind of settled into this game.
John, thank you as always.
Thanks,
Thank
Coach.
you, guys. Appreciate it.
They certainly did manufacture that first run, like Coach Rittman just alluded to, with the RBI ground out from Collins. Stunning Dunning, who has not given up a hit through 3, just a couple of walks, the lone blemishes, you might say, on her resume today. But she's going to have to deal with 2, 3, and 4 here from the Knowles. Beecham, McKenzie, and Danley. And it could get late early if you give up a big inning, and that's kind of what happened with Clemson yesterday against Sierra Manis. A 4-hit 4th inning. The Knowles push across 3, and they never really got their foothold on the game after that for the Tigers.
And just knowing what we know about Florida State, the offensive production we've seen from this team, I think Clemson understands, and you heard it from Coach Rittman, 1 is not enough. This is going to have to be a Tiger team where they rely on Dunning to buy some time, to hold down the fort defensively. Because Clemson understands the importance of some insurance here. As he said, there's a lot of ball game left.
Florida State has not been shut out since February 20th against number 9 Alabama. To your point, they always score. During that 19-game win streak they are currently on, just such a heater. They're averaging 9.6 runs per game, including 9 run rule wins. Last time they lost was against Alabama in the second part of that weekend on February 21st. And their only losses this season, you know, they come in at 30-4 on the year, undefeated in conference at 7-0. Only losses are to top 8 RPI teams. They beat who they are supposed to. And that is how you put together that type of streak. 3-2, fair down the left field line off the bat of Beecham. She'll have to stay put at first, and that's how the 4th comes to a start.
First time Florida State has found a leadoff on.
First hit of the game against Dunning.
First hit of the game. Yeah, you mentioned it. This is just laced, pull side, right past the glove of Collins at third base. Well struck by Beecham. So athletic. Jasoni Beecham has so much strength at the plate.
So Beecham is on to start things off for the reigning ACC Player of the Week, Shelby McKenzie. Struck out swinging against Dunning her first time up. And that's laced into the left center field gap. One hop off the wall. Beecham to third. They're going to send her around. The throw. Beat her in plenty of time. Kylie Chanel cuts down Beecham. And Clemson still leads.
Man, well struck and perfectly played. Johnson comes up with the relay. Chanel the throw to home plate, and not even close, Alex. This one has to sting if you're FSU. You're in the meat of your order. Would have had 2 on in scoring position. No outs for your 4, 5, and 6 coming up.
7-6-2, and the run cut down at the plate. This weekend's featured baseball game on ACC Network and on the ESPN app. It's tomorrow afternoon, 10th ranked NC State, number 3 Georgia Tech on the flats, finishing up their 3-game series. Georgia Tech 7-3. Second in the ACC behind Florida State, who is hosting Duke right now. Coverage beginning 3 Eastern on ACC Network and the ESPN app. So 7-6-2, left field shortstop catcher to retire Beecham. And here's Ashton Danley taking low and away. As that play was transpiring, I saw Beecham being waved around.
Yeah, Travis Wilson waving her in the third base.
I just thought maybe that's a little aggressive, Travis. Maybe put the late stop sign on.
15th season at Florida State. I mean, this is part of the game, too, that you just have to have a sixth sense. Do you send her? Do you hold her up? You know the athlete. You know the situation. You understand what is developing on the field. It's easy for us up here to have opinions.
That's true. Also, we literally have the perfect view of the play developing.
We see the whole thing
That's
developing.
right.
Exactly right.
We're not in the third base coach's box right now.
Beecham does have speed, 4 for 4 on stolen bases in the year. It's tough. I mentioned it. You look at what would have been coming to the plate, the 4-5-6. Granted, all 3 of those hitless. Girio, the 6th hole with a walk. But it's just a matter of time with this team, right? That's exactly what we talked about at the start of the inning.
So the first 3 are now on to begin this 4th inning. Beecham single down the left field line. McKenzie with the double into the left center field gap, and now Danley's walk. Third base on balls allowed today by Dunning. Clemson is still in a little bit of trouble here with Kennedy Harp coming up to the plate.
This would be the situation where Dunning really has to dig in her heels, gives up 2 back-to-back base hits, gives up the walk, and you've got some momentum because of that out at home plate. You can't give him a breath here.
0-1 chopper to third. Collins handles a look and a fire to first. In time, 2 away, and the runners advance.
It's a nice look. She sees the runners in front of her, takes the sure out at first base. Now 2 out on the board.
McKenzie on third, Danley on second, and here is Bella Ruggiero. Just downstairs to start her off. The redshirt freshman didn't play last year, and now kind of feeling the weight of being an everyday starter for the first time. Walked her first time up, went 2 for 3 with a run scored in Game 1's 4-1 win for the Noles. Anna Hind waiting on deck, who Dunning has struck out. Caught the top of the zone, according to Jose Chaparro. (3-1) to Ruggiero. Chopper off of Collins' glove into left. 1 run's in, and a second for Florida State. Noles take the lead with a clutch knock by Ruggiero.
What a battle. 3-1 count for Ruggiero. This is off the end of the bat and off the heel of the glove of Collins. This play, Alex, has to be made at third base. You can see she's cutting across the field. It's across her body.
This is driven out to shallow right. Cintron's got it. And that is how this fourth inning in the top half comes to a close. But the Seminoles take the lead. 2-1 heading to the bottom half. Welcome back to ACC Softball, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Another good one here in the middle game of this three-game set between last year's ACC Tournament Championship game participants, number 10 Florida State and Clemson, who are just outside of the top 25, receiving the most votes of anybody not in the poll right now. Alex Perlman, two-time national champion Aaron Miller along with you. Florida State just taking the lead, getting their first hits of the game against Abby Dunning. 2 runs come in to score, both unearned on an error by the third baseman Collins. And now we'll see if Clemson can bounce back against Dimitrievich in the circle, starting her third inning of work.
We'll see if Clemson can attack the first batter they face. The last 3 innings, they've walked the first batter they've seen.
Only one of those coming around to score, though. Brockenbrough to begin the Clemson order. Cintron, Noller, and Hicks coming up. The first 2 have been red hot over the last 10 games. Cintron drives it. This is to left. This is Danley. And she reaches up and makes the play. Wind is blowing out to dead center field here today, but we haven't seen any balls leave the ballpark in either of these 2 games so far. 2 teams that can really swing it too. It's not necessarily Clemson's MO this year. Florida State is 6th in the ACC in home runs this season. They've sent 37 out of the yard. 0-1 on Noller, who walked her first time up. It's a 4-pitch walk, actually, and now she's down to the count 0-2. Back into the glove of Hines. Second strikeout of the game, that is, here for Dimitrievich.
Quick work this inning for Bell in the circle. This is a screwball in the outer half of the plate. maybe a low rise, has a similar spin, similar type revolution.
Jammed over to Torres, no problem. Hicks swings to the first pitch and lines it to short. Dmitrievich works a 1-2-3 inning in the fourth. Florida State trying to add to its 2-1 lead next.
Here in Clemson, it all started in the first. The Tigers with an RBI ground out to break the seal, and then on to the fourth. Florida State coming in with an error opposite side of the field, and it's enough to get 2 runs across. That was after, Alex, they were thrown out at home plate on a double with no outs on the board. So a big save for the Seminoles, and here's where we land now in the 5th inning.
Clemson just looking for its first hit still. They did make that error by Collins, usually pretty good defensive team. But that is the difference in this game right now as we go to the top of the 5th. Marin Heller back in against Dunning. Unfortunate, both of those runs in the 4th for the Seminoles are unearned against Dunning because of that error. But that is really what over the years Florida State has come to be known by. Heller towards the third base side, just gets out of play. Look from Collins. This is a relentless team, and they're not always gonna, get extra bases and hit you to death. Ava Wilson comes in for Cintron to play right field. But they're aggressive on the base paths. They take advantage of every little mistake. And Lonnie Alameda has perfected that type of softball. It's how you win in the postseason. It's how you win in the regular season. But that is a reason I think that they've been so good once you get to regionals and supers in the Women's College World Series, because you put pressure on other teams and it forces really good teams to make every play.
I believe base running is the most undercoached aspect of our game. It can win you ball games and it can lose you ball games, truly. If you're aggressive, if you have high IQ, if you can see the game develop in front of you, if you've got the trust with the team to be aggressive, to have that instinct on the dirt, you're going to wreak some havoc. You're going to apply some pressure to a defense and force some errors.
Oh, over by Griggs. Thankfully, she's okay, but it didn't miss her by much.
It's suffocating to be on defense. I can remember that as a defender playing at Oklahoma. We would face teams that were just relentless on the base paths. This one comes right into the dugout.
Kind of hard to physically send it that direction from the right-hand batter's box. And now it's 3-2.
Haven't seen much of that off speed. That's only the 3rd time that she's thrown that pitch. 1 of those 3 have been strikes.
base it up the middle, and Heller is on to start it off. So second straight inning that the leadoff has reached now for Florida State. Aaron, let's get back to base running for a second. Do you feel like that's an art that has gone underdeveloped in a lot of ways in the last few years, maybe because of, such a prevalence of offense that now we see?
I think some of it is style, too, just program style, coaching style, if you have coaches that really want to utilize that tool. But, two, it's also based on the talent that you have, right? Do you have athletes that can support that aggressiveness with speed and decision-making? Do they have a knack for the game? I think it takes a little bit of a sixth sense to have that type of intuition on the base paths. I think it's a mix of everything, but I really do believe it's a skill set that when teams can master it, it is just so hard to shut it down. That has been a consistent skill set and a foundation of Florida State. I know that you and I have witnessed over the past few seasons.
No question about that. Blue Devils highlighting next Saturday's lacrosse matchups right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Next Saturday, number 6 ranked men hosting Virginia. That's in Durham at noon Eastern. And then at 4, the number 17 women welcome in number 5 Syracuse. Just like here at Clemson, busy day coming up in Durham next week. 2 balls and a strike now against Taylor Griggs. The leadoff on for the Seminoles against the Tigers. On top 2-1, looking to win this series today. Dunning with an emphatic reaction to that ball call from Jose Chaparro.
She has wanted that corner all day long.
Three-one off of Dunning's glove. Chanel tags the bag. The second time this series, we have seen her down on the ground and make an unbelievable play.
You're exactly right. We saw the phenomenal play up the middle of the field in game 1. Here we see the diving effort and the glove tag for the force out. Chanel at shortstop has been elite for Clemson this series.
And really all year long, the transfer coming over from Florida Atlantic. She was amazing for Jordan Clark there in her couple of seasons and has just fit seamlessly into the middle of this Clemson infield. It's only the 7th season for Clemson Tigers softball. So maybe this doesn't, come with a lot of gravitas. But she's probably the best defensive shortstop they've ever had.
I could sign off on that.
And those are the type of plays that you need to make against Florida State. Limit any of their chances to cross the plate because they're not going to give up a lot of runs. But here comes Issa Torres. This is coming into the game, batting .636, and she is retired. Now just 1 for 7 in this series. It's a productive out. It does move Griggs into scoring position, however.
The rollover ground ball to Pavisi at first base. What an uncharacteristic 2 games for Issa Torres. I can't even believe I'm saying that with the numbers that she's had on the year.
And Jason E. Beecham takes Lowen away. Just to put it in a little bit of perspective for you, how good this season has been for Issa Torres. She broke the school record last year with that .436 batting average. Coming into this game with the same amount of at-bats as last year, she would only have to hit .308 the rest of the way to break her own record. 3-0 on Beecham. Remember, Torres was sidelined for 8 games with a concussion earlier in the year. She comes back and then sets the NCAA record, going 16 for 16. That missed too. It's the 4th walk. Every inning except for the first, there has been a base on balls issued by Dunning. She has stranded all but 1. Shelby McKenzie swung, and it hit her. But she's going to take a second.
It was an attempted swing. This did appear to hit her on the hands. You can see the barrel coming around. Curveball on the inner side of that strike zone.
Just one of those perils of being a hitter. Sometimes, you know, you get hit in the hand and you don't even get rewarded for it. She definitely went around, though. McKenzie with a double her last time up. She hit the double into the left center field gap that Beecham was thrown out on trying to score. Beautiful relay from Johnson to Chanel to Hicks to cut her down at the plate. That's on the outside corner. Dunning 1 strike away from getting out of this 5th inning unscathed.
Finally starting to see Dunning pull in closer to the strike zone in pitchers' counts. We started to see her miss a little bit wide in counts that she should have been in control of, not getting bites, not getting swing throughs. But here against McKenzie, shaving the corners nicely.
Pretty good spot for 1 and 2, just didn't get the call.
That's probably a ball and a half off the plate. A great take by McKenzie, but a good pitcher's pitch location for Dunning.
2-2, got her! Fishing in the river. Florida State leading 2-1, but Clemson coming up, trying to get into this deficit after the strikeout of McKenzie. The ACC Tournament Championship game from a season ago off Jazzy Francis, Kylie Johnson with the blast heard round South Carolina. 2-run homer put him in front. Brooke McCubbin finished it off with the fly ball to Brockenbrough. And a seminal moment in Clemson's nascent softball
ACC
history.
Softball is presented by Auto.
And 2-1 the score here. Looking to repeat that result from a season ago at their first ACC championship. Alex Perlman with Aaron Miller. Back here at McWhirter Stadium, a beautiful day. It is warmed up considerably, and a massive crowd, despite behind us right now, the football spring game going on. I think that says enough in the 7 years what John Rittman has built here. Over 2,000 last night, and I would imagine it's going to be just about the same attendance here this afternoon. Sturgis comes in to play left here for Danley. She moves to the designated player. So now Ashton Danley has technically played 3 positions here in this game. She started in the circle and then moved to left field, and now she is the DP as Sturgis moves into the defensive lineup. Johnson leads off with memories of that home run against Florida State. She'll take strike 2. Johnson, Pipkins, and Brockenbrough all do 8-9 and 1 in the Clemson lineup, trailing by a run and trailing by game here in this series.
You and I were talking literally that inning about the importance of the insurance run before Florida State threw 2 up on the board. Just a matter of time before you were going to see that Seminole offense chip away at that deficit. Now Clemson having to figure out a way to manufacture at least 2 more.
That helps. The 4th leadoff walk for Clemson here today. Coming up 5 Eastern, our next softball matchup is one of the premier ACC series this weekend. Stanford and Duke, as the Cardinal look to even up that one at a game apiece in Durham. 5 o'clock Eastern right here on ACC Network and on the ESPN app. Glad you're with us here for game 2 of this series. Taylor Pipkins takes ball 1 with the infield charging. Nobody has to wonder about what's going to happen here in this at bat, or at least what the attempt is going to be. Number 9 hitter trying to turn the lineup over. Or maybe John Rittman will keep us on our toes here as Pipkins pulls back.
Well, keeping this defense honest, you can see infield was pulled in front of the base paths. Now they're playing pretty straight up, at least the middle infield straight up behind the base paths.
And there is the bunt. Beats him to first in time. And you got really good speed on the base paths too. Johnson's only been caught once this year in 10 tries. Pipkins is going to get the exact type of, here is that bunt executed perfectly. She's gonna get the same reception in the dugout as if she had just brought in that run. That's how important that was right there for the number 9 hitter.
Yeah, Coach Alameda came out of the dugout to have a word with home plate umpire.
I think the question is what happened right around the plate.
Yeah, I think she was wanting to have a discussion there on if.
And we are going to have our first challenge, it looks like, of the game here for Lonnie Alameda in the bottom of the 5th inning.
I think she's challenging to see if Pipkins ran in to the bunted ball. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to look at, to see if Pipkins' foot touched the batted ball, which means immediately it would be dead ball. The batter would be out. And Kylie Johnson, who's standing at second base, would return back to first.
We'll see. If it hit her when she's out of the box, you're exactly right. That would be a really important turning point in this game. 2 challenges per team. Can use them continuing into the 6th inning, but the 6th inning officials can also review.
I do remember the stutter step. Pipkins coming out of the box, you can see she becomes aware.
I never thought it did hit her, and it did hit her.
I don't see contact there, but I could see how Coach Alameda, seeing that little hop step from Pipkins, a little bit of an optical illusion. Here's a great look from our crew. Yeah, I don't see contact there at all. I don't see this being overturned. Clear in that replay. No contact with the lower body. Her feet were in the box on contact. I think this is going to be a clean bunt.
I don't think there's really any question about, it could be something with runner's lane. Yes, so they were looking at whether or not the ball hit her foot. Worth it, I guess, in the bottom of the 5th, and,
sure.
And you haven't used a challenge yet, but there is one of the 2 challenges for Lonnie Alameda.
Yeah, Coach is trying to keep tying run out of scoring position. She's going to come out, have a little meeting with the infield. I think this is a smart call, just to take a breath, pause the momentum here from Clemson.
At the very least, that's what it does, even
slow the game down
with that challenge that was unsuccessful. And also, it is going to cause a change in the circle. And we are going to see Ashton Danley re-enter the game. So she's gone from pitcher to left field to DP, and now she's back in the circle. What can Ashton Danley do? Maybe more than a 5-tool player. We'll come back, bottom of the 5th next. Pressure spot as Clemson looking to potentially tie this game. That runner is on second as Ashton Danley re-enters. She started the game through 16 pitches in a 1-run first. Gets away for a moment from Hind, but no advance from Johnson. Dmitrievich came in through the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th and started the 5th inning. 3 1/3 scoreless so far, but she's responsible for Johnson on second base.
Little off-speed pitch out of the lefty, Danley.
Three of the next 4 hitters for Clemson are from the left side. Something to think about with bringing Danley back in. What do you think's going through Lonnie Alameda's mind?
I think the importance of defense supporting Danley right now, trying to keep the top of this order from getting anything brewing for Clemson.
You know, something that actually, interestingly enough, we were talking about in the 1st inning is that she got a lot of ground balls.
Yeah.
And so you bring her back in and you hit something on the ground here, have a chance to get out of this inning. Not right now, but, potentially at some point with a double play, or at least keep it on the infield and no advance from the runner. 2-2 to Brockenbrough. What an eye she has shown. She's walked her first 2 times up and has scored the only run. Bouncer up the middle, Torres gloves, throws, it's offline. Safe at first. Johnson stops at third, runners on the corners, 1 out for the Tigers. And if it wasn't for Issa Torres, we'd be tied.
Yeah, didn't result in an out, but you gotta tip your cap to the athleticism of Torres, throwing her body at this ball up the middle of the field. Almost was an errant throw, but Griggs holding down the fort at first base. My goodness. Turn up the heat, why don't you? This is a massive moment for Clemson.
Here's Kylie Chanel now. Runners on the corners, the tying run on third. That was scored in error on Issa Torres, and I'm not totally sure how that ends up happening. We're gonna have to inquire about that one.
I'm gonna make a guess that may change.
I would say almost definitely.
They're off speed low. Well, this is one of those situations where a ground ball would be ideal. If you're Danley, keep the ball on the ground, let your defense work behind you. One of the best defenses in the nation.
Bunted, what a squeeze! It works perfectly for Clemson! Returning the favor with a little small ball of their own, and we're knotted up at 2.
This is my favorite offensive call. Coach Rittman, fearless. Fearless, reads the defense perfectly. Beecham playing back in line with third base. And Kylie Chanel lays down a beauty right off the end of the bat. It's a drop ball, drop curve, low and in, sets up perfectly for the bunt, and no answer with the lefty in the circle. Nowhere for her to go, no play to make. Wow.
And to add on top of that, she has to bunt that. That was a suicide squeeze. Johnson was running on the pitch. And now here's Mac Pavesi.
There's no riskier play. You've got runners in motion. She had to get the barrel on the ball. This is part of the base running aspect, right? When you've got to trust with the team, you've got trust with your offense to put runners in motion.
Pavesi bounces to first, handled by Griggs. The touch up at first in time. Both runners move up 2 away. So the go-ahead run just 60 feet away from giving Clemson the advantage going into the 6th. It is up to Marion Collins once again in a pressure spot. Clemson, with that squeeze, registers its first hit of the game.
Could potentially be changed if that Brockenbrough error changes. Exactly right.
Here's the thing, though, that also kind of irks you about that decision is that Issa Torres had not made an error coming into this game. That's not the way you get your first error of the season.
I think that is easily ruled a base hit.
Look, I understand that maybe with a good throw she gets her, but
I
a little love for this play.
I don't think it's definitive. Throw from the knees across.
Like that,
I mean, maybe if the throw's perfect.
But
But to me, the fact that she even made that play
Yes.
should be respected. I agree.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, was that play with ordinary effort? That's the standard. That was not ordinary effort. That was extraordinary.
Are we just
effort.
holding Issa Torres to an unrealistic expectation? I don't know.
I know she's had a good season. 2-1 now on Collins. All right, we digress. Can Clemson take the lead here in the 5th? Collins, slow roller, testing Heller in plenty of time. And that'll do it. But we're tied.
It's the squeeze. Perfectly executed by Kylie Chanel. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a tie ball game here at McWhorter. Dunning has been stunning indeed in the circle. She has kept Clemson within chipping distance offensively by taking care of business in the circle. Let's take a look at this. The spread of approach. She's able to go up, away, low. We've seen her sprinkle in the off speed when needed. She has been elite 5Ks now as we head into the 6th inning.
Brand new ball game, 2-2 after Clemson knots it up in the 5th on a suicide squeeze by Kylie Chanel. To the 6th inning we go with Dunning back in the circle. And I am proud to report that that error has been changed to an infield single.
I wonder if we had any influence on that campaign.
If we did, I think that's using our power to
good for
add
good.
greatness, yeah, for good, for sure. It has been changed for good. Ashton Danley, Kennedy Hart, Bella Ruggiero coming up here against Dunning. Back to her, and on a hop, she'll underhand toss to Pavesi, one away in the 6th. Well, coming up here, our weekend's featured baseball game on ACC Network. Number 10, NC State, 3rd-ranked Georgia Tech from Atlanta. That's tomorrow, 3 Eastern, right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. And then at 6, what's happening, Aaron? Tomorrow, the final game of our series, of course. Can't wait. Florida State Clemson, right here on ACC Network. We'll be back with you at McWhorter Stadium. The only thing left to be decided, is it going to be Florida State going for the sweep, or will it be the rubber match?
Like, what other sporting events are happening on campus? Because there's a lot happening today.
Oh, yeah. Spring games right behind us, or football. Baseball a little bit later, women's lacrosse. Some Tiger faithful are going all 4 events. That's a good day here on campus at Clemson University. Memorial Stadium in the background. One of the iconic sites in college football. 2-1, muscled right center field. Here's Brockenbow ranging over to put it away. Quickly 2 outs here for Dunning. That's almost just as important as getting that run, trying to set Florida State down without any momentum offensively, and then, you know, get back to work because you got the middle of your order coming up.
I think it's just so storybook thinking about that squeeze bunt. That is typically something you would see from an offense of Florida State. Runners in motion, execution style offense. So the fact that Clemson was able to almost beat Florida State in that moment at their own game, challenging one of the best defenses in the nation.
Abby Dunning has just been giving Clemson exactly what he needed, limiting Florida State to 2 unearned runs. Both came on an error by Collins in the 4th inning with 2 outs. Other than that, it has been kind of a masterclass to keeping down one of the more potent lineups in this league and in the nation. And trying to stop a 19-game winning streak that's 3rd longest active in this country. Just Texas and Oklahoma longer. And there is a 2-out walk here to Ruggiero.
Don't get me wrong, I love a long ball, and I feel like there's a lot of long balls happening in our sport right now, but I am a little old school and traditional about a bunt. I do love a good sacrifice bunt, a squeeze bunt, a successful squeeze play is just, there's just something so great about it.
And especially the suicide variety, because, I mean, and that ball was down too. If Chanel doesn't get her bat on it,
you're hosed. You're out of the
dead to rights at home plate.
To me, arguably, that's one of the hardest plays to execute. The pressure, what's at stake.
1-0, high drive, left field, and Florida State's got the lead. Anaheim blasts one over the left field fence, a 2-run shot. 4-2 Florida State. You were saying about the long ball.
I was just gonna say, Florida State's like, okay, Aaron, take your squeeze bunt. I see your love for the squeeze bunt, but here's the long ball. Anaheim, just an absolute blast. Deepest part of the field, left center field, pull side, power. You and I have said this all game, Alex. It's always a matter of time. It doesn't ever feel like you can have enough against a team like Florida State. They are a ticking time bomb at the plate.
The reigning North Carolina Gatorade Player of the Year out of Charlotte. Anaheim, we talk about these freshmen who really aren't freshmen anymore. And now John Rittman's going to come out. I mean, what a special swing. Because Anaheim's dad, Kevin, played baseball here at Clemson and coached Anna's high school team. And kind of, she always pushed him to go to the field growing up and to practice more and more and more. And Kevin would almost say, coming home from work, can you at least let me get in the door before we leave? And so how about doing that against his former team? Hind with maybe one of the bigger swings of her young career.
A freshman's 6th home run of the year. It's her 22nd RBI.
Lonnie Alameda said that she hit the lottery with Anaheim. Her routine, like a pro, just incredible. But not just Hind, it kind of goes for the whole freshman class this year. One of those is Heller. 2-0 on her. Sierra Manis is starting to warm now in that Clemson bullpen. She threw the entire game yesterday. This inning started so benignly. A ground out, a fly out, but you walk Ruggiero and you keep the inning alive for Anna Hind, and then she blasts one to left center. And it continues here with the Heller walk.
It's kind of been the Achilles heel for Dunning. You know, she's looked so good coming in through the 6, had 5 Ks, but where it's hurt her has been those walks. The walk back in the 4th came around to score. She got 2 quick outs here in the 6, which her team needed, but gave up that walk and started to brew a little momentum, a little 2-out rally here for the Seminoles.
Pitching change in the circle here for Clemson. We're going to get the freshman Kira Crosby for her first action of the weekend. I'll tell you about her next.
For Clemson. Mentioned the changes in staff for the Tigers, trying to establish that 3rd arm. The young arm getting the call here, an important situation. Curve and screw. The changeup, though, for Crosby is what sticks out for this young woman. Really good at pulling the string.
Now, she hasn't appeared in a while, though. Roughed up in her last outing. Was against Notre Dame, her only outing in ACC play. That was back on March 21st. A little bit low. 3 runs on inning and 2/3. And so, Florida State with a runner on first and 2 outs here in the 6th, looking for more. Did not hold up. They say that Greg's went around. First base umpire Donald Brown today. Got her with the off speed. Clemson's out of the inning, but Florida State has the lead.
2-run shot, completely turning this game around for Florida State. It's the freshman that's got the 2-0 lead.
Blacks from Durham coming up next Saturday. It starts on the men's side, Virginia, 6th ranked Duke. That's at noon Eastern. And then at 4, number 5 Syracuse coming in to face 17th ranked Blue Devils right here on ACC Network and on the ESPN app. So now after the 2-run shot from Anaheim, Clemson is down to its final 6 outs, looking to fend off the Noles after losing last night's game and trying to even this series at 1 apiece and make sure they're not looking to avoid a sweep tomorrow night. It's Cintron, Noller, and Hicks. So you've got 2 extraordinarily hot bats to start things off. Danley stays in after Clemson tied the game on a squeeze bunt back an inning ago.
Cintron's one of those athletes where there's not a moment that's too big for her. She rides the waves of the highs and the lows with so much maturity. It's exactly who you'd want at the plate right now.
She chops it over to third, gobbled up by Beecham. 1 away. Danley's retired the last 3 that she's faced. Florida State 7-0 in the league. Picked to win the ACC. That's happened a dozen times in the last 13 years. But Clemson was picked 2nd. And Noles just edged out the Tigers in that poll. But Clemson's in danger of dropping to 6-5 in the ACC. They've won every single series so far in conference. But they've won 2 out of 3 every time. And with the way that, the top of this league is right now with Duke and Virginia Tech and Stanford, that's not going to be good enough. You're going to have to sweep some of these. But they've had a really rough season in terms of the quality they've faced as well. Now 1-2. Because Georgia Tech's had a great year. Louisville's got like 7 losses this season. They've quietly been very good. At Notre Dame, they only take 2 of those games as well, even though Notre Dame is down towards the bottom of the league. Off the end of the bat, a squirter to Griggs, and she'll touch up. Florida State has the top of the lineup to try to add on in the 7th. Hicks is looking for her first hit of this series so far. Nothing for 4 with a sac bunt in her first at bat today. Doesn't pull the trigger on the off speed.
Back-to-back off-speed pitches from Danley. And unless you're Hicks sitting on an off-speed pitch, you have to take those. You just can't cover both speeds.
What does she do here on 1-2, trying to get out of the inning? Again, this time Hicks held up. Two straight check swings.
Shocked that that pitch didn't get called a strike. That's a curveball that cut right across the strike zone. Backdoor movement.
Brings up a payoff here from Danley. Got her that time. 1, 2, 3, go the Tigers. Florida State doubling up Clemson, going to the 7th.
ACC Softball is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Welcome back to McWhorter Stadium as Clemson and Florida State battle in one of the biggest ACC series this weekend. It's 4-2, Seminoles leading as we go to the top of the 7th. Kira Crosby, the freshman, back out in the circle. She got a strikeout of Haley Griggs to end the 6th. And she starts out Issa Torres with strike 1. She is 0 for 3 today and 1 for 7 this series after coming in to the game with a .636 batting average, best in the nation. Bouncer to Crosby. I have to figure, we're going to have to ask someone about this. Has she gone 0 for 4 in a game this year?
My guess would be no.
I don't know how you bat .636. I mean, it's obviously possible. You go 16 for 16, that skyrockets your average, but it's not as if, I mean, .636 is really not sustainable, but for her, maybe it is. I'm telling you, 1 for 7 this series. If you told Lonnie Alameda that, I'm not sure she would believe that they are on the verge of winning both of these first games.
I think it's important, too, for Issa Torres not to let a 1 for 8 run now get to her head. I mean, what she's done up until this point has been well above average. Extraordinary outing so far.
2-1 to Beecham. Now, our producer, Kurt Sutton, has told me that she has gone 0 for 3 twice this season, but not 0 for 4. Can't say I'm surprised. To another 2-2. Coming up for Clemson, it's Johnson, Pipkins, and Brockenbrough all do. That's 8, 9, and 1. And that is exactly how Clemson started in the 5th when they tied this game at 2. But they don't need 1 run, they need at least 2. Beecham flared to right, and there is first hit of the 7th. She's on with 1 away.
A second base hit for Jasoni Beecham. She had that ball laced down the left field line back in the 4th. An absolute screamer. I just love the fact that she can spray the field. So much power, had great timing on that changeup, didn't try and do too much with it.
Shelby McKenzie now. Or sorry, we have a pinch hitter. Sturgis coming in. Sturgis, who came in actually to play left field, now stays in. And tips that into the glove of Hicks, 0-2.
Such a multi-tool athlete as a freshman. As a young athlete, she rides the highs and lows with a lot of maturity. I'm not surprised to see her getting some reps here in a pivotal moment for this squad. I think that that's been a real focus. You heard Coach Alameda talk about situations and getting some of these young athletes some really important reps.
Lifted to shallow center. Easy for Brockenbrough in the middle of the paw. And there are 2 away. Sturgis actually the second leading hitter on this team. Has started 29 of now 34 games, but being brought in here off of the bench. And here's Danley. The pitcher turned left fielder, turned designated player, turned back to pitcher. And that is a real feather in the cap of Lonnie Alameda. And, you know, something that she can go to throughout the rest of this season. There are no holds barred right now with Ashton Danley. Use her in any situation. She has, I mean, pitched, hit, played the outfield, gone back into the circle. And since she has gone back in, I mean, she's given up an infield single, a squeeze bunt. She's retired the last 5 she's faced. So after getting her first save of the season last year, or rather last night, that is, she is in line for the win today, if they can finish it off. Hicks keeps it in front, and that just allows Beecham to move to second on the walk. Kennedy Harp is the one that's due, though Lonnie Alameda's out of the dugout. It is just to get an oven mitt. I guess Danley didn't come out with it. Got to protect that hand. Especially because it's her pitching hand.
We didn't have those when I played at OU. Those weren't in development yet.
No. Remember they used to have like the wrist brace almost that you could wear? Which I'm not sure how that protects your fingers at all, but I guess it keeps the bones, you know, everything in place. No, that was never a thing. It was holding batting gloves were like
that's exactly
the big thing to protect your fingers.
I just had to focus on keeping my fingers away from the steel cleats. There was no mitt.
Horrible visual images right now. 1-2 on Hart. Maybe this will instill some confidence in Crosby and also John Rittman in Crosby. If possibly she's able to get out of this unscathed, and they're looking for that third arm. Maybe it's her. For those of you looking for Duke and Florida State baseball in Tallahassee, we'll get you there right when we're finished. But Clemson's lineup might have something to say about it in the bottom half of the 7th coming up.
Crosby has been dosing up a steady order of change-ups.
3-2. Back to the hard stuff up the middle. Chanel collects, fires just in time to get Hart. So Florida State doesn't add to the 2-run lead, but Clemson needs a couple to keep this one going when we come back in the bottom half of the 7th. Just like in the 7th, in the 5th, Kylie Johnson led off here against Dimitrijevic with a walk. Good sacrifice bunt from Pipkins, the next batter. Coming up, Jamison Brockenbrough as the lineup turned over. Issa Torres with an amazing play up the middle, though not in time to get Speedy Jamison. And then Kylie Chanel with a suicide squeeze to bring in Johnson. That tied it at 2, but then Florida State countered in the 6th with a pair on one swing. Anaheim's 2-run bomb. And now we go to the bottom of the 7th with Clemson trailing by a pair. Johnson starts it off here against Ashton Danley in line for her potential 7th win this season. She is the pitcher of record. Started the game through an inning, gave up a run, and then came in relief of Dimitrijevic in the 5th. Johnson bouncer. Beecham across. 1 out here in the 7th. 6 in a row retired by Danley. We have the finale coming up for you as well here on ACC Network. Aaron and I are right back in the catbird seat, 6 Eastern tomorrow. And if Clemson can't do anything, it's going to be the Noles looking for the sweep. And you'd have to think with, how good Duke has been and Virginia Tech, you can't drop a lot of games in the ACC this year. This would get Florida State to 8-0. Do it all Danley. 2-0 on Pipkins with Brockenbrough in the top of the lineup awaiting. Jamison yet to be retired, but will she come up as the tying run? That's high, deep, left field, and caught at the wall. Sturgis hauls it in.
Definitely thought that swing had a shot. Sturgis coming in on defense last inning. She's got to track this ball all the way to the wall. Keep in mind, this is not home turf for her. Coming in late in the game, I think that ball would have at least hit the top of the fence.
There's a definite chance that cuts it to a 1-run game, but Sturgis denies Pipkins. But a good swing on that pitch, too. And now Brockenbrough, the last hope here for the Tigers. Brockenbrough always makes you earn it, though, and Kylie Chanel standing on deck if she can reach as the potential tying run. Now 7 in a row retired by Danley. Clemson down to its final strike. Brockenbrough not making it easy. Florida State's run for the moment continuing. They need that all-important final strike. 2-2 pitch. Danley in line for the win. Dunning would be charged with the loss. She'd fall to 6-6 if Clemson can't complete the comeback. That's driven out to right, not deep, should do it. Ruggiero has it, and Florida State takes the series on the road at Clemson. 20 straight wins for Lonnie Alameda's Seminoles.
Complete team effort from both of these squads. Having to find ways to score creatively for both of these teams, whether it's an infield routine out, a squeeze bunt, the home run shot. Both teams had to fight in the circle with a collective staff effort. I think we're going to see fireworks again in Game 3.
They will look for the sweep. Clemson will try to fend it off and get a much-needed ACC win. Florida State 8-0 in the league. Clemson drops to 6-5. That will do it for us here in South Carolina with Aaron Miller for our fantastic ACC Network crew. Alex Perlman saying so long from McWhorter Stadium for now. Let's send you to Duke and Florida State. Darren Vaught, Eduardo Perez, all yours.